Okay, welcome to the job today. This has got to be one of the mossiest roofs I've ever cleaned. I've cleaned some pretty mossy roofs as well, but yeah, this is a bad one. There's lots of trees nearby. It's a lovely spot actually, by the water. There's like a lake here by the water, so yeah, it's a lovely property in a lovely position. But all these trees nearby must encourage the moss, encourages the algae to grow. So before I start, you're never too sure whether it's going to be really stubborn moss, whether it's going to come off more easily. Looking at it, the moss looks quite loose on the surface in places, so I'm thinking it's going to come off quite easily with the type of tiles it is and things like that, but we'll see how it goes. Never can be too sure. But anyway, what I usually do, it's all going to get removed. I'll apply the chemical treatment afterwards, the biocide, which will kill off anything that might be left behind in the surface, any organic growth. So even after I've finished cleaning, the roof will continue to improve. There's a tricky bit around the back here. I'm on my own today because Riley is at home doing some coursework at home for a course that he's doing for his apprenticeship. So I'm on my own, which is not too bad. With this property, it's going to be easy to move the scaffold around on my own, so that's good. There's no major obstacles really. The toughest bit of the job probably is going to be this part here, where there's this kind of conservatory type lean-to roof at the back. So it's a little bit further to reach, and then I'm going to have to clear up all the mess off the top of the roof there. So with this job, I think it's the clean up after, which is going to be one of the toughest parts really. But I've got the tarpaulin down, so that'll catch a lot of the mess, and then I should be able to just drag it into the bushes. So I just wanted to say that if you enjoy my channel, if you enjoy the satisfying roof cleans, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. It's going to be a busy summer, I think, with loads more coming up. Looking forward to doing loads more jobs like this as well. If you want help getting into the industry, I also am now running the training courses. There are online training courses, there are in-person training days. I love helping people not just learn about the tools and equipment and getting the right techniques, but also there's tons of business advice there that I've learned over the years, that I've learned from other people that I've dealt with in my own business and good friends of mine in business and stuff like that. So it's a really great day. It's been getting a really good response. Or if you want to listen to my podcast, I interview different people who have got started in the industry, who have been in the industry a long time. There's loads of great tips and advice just there on the podcast as well. So check it out. The links are in the description. But in the meantime, let's crack on with this. Let's see if we can get it clean. So there we go. It certainly does pile up as it comes down the roof, but it's definitely making a dramatic a dramatic difference. And it's coming off okay. I think some jobs like this, some guys would scrape the worst of the moss off before they then kind of give it a light pressure wash. Why go over it twice? I'll just go over it once. My technique changes slightly if I'm doing a job where there's not an awful lot of moss, it's mostly lichen and algae. I'll try and go side to side, just work my way all the way down the roof. When there is a lot of moss like this, I'll go up and down, so I'm pulling the moss down the roof as I go, and that's fine. I mean, I'm getting through it. Did find just a little broken tile up here. I mean, when there's a carpet of moss on a roof like this, to be honest, it would be pretty unusual if you didn't find a broken tile, because that moss holds the moisture close to the tiles, and especially over winter when that water's freezing, it gets into all the cracks and imperfections, and then can cause some of the tiles to break if there's imperfections there. So yeah, so it's a good idea to remove the moss, because it's going to prevent any further damage like that from occurring. But often you don't realise that there are damaged tiles there until you remove that moss, because the moss is kind of hiding any of that damage that it's caused. But yeah, getting rid of it will make sure it's not going to cause any further damage. So we can always recommend a roofer to come and replace any of those tiles if needed on any job. But yeah, it's kind of par for the course in a way. But I've got to get this removed. I've missed the tarpaulin a bit, but I'll have to try and sweep that up best I can, and then we'll move on to the next section. coming up really good, going really well. There is a lot of moss, there's a lot of twigs and sticks and all sorts of debris up there from the trees. I'm not sure if I've left the worst bit till last, but here we go. I've just got this big section here to do. See how we get on, and then I'm gonna try and get all this finished today. Now I think I'm going to leave myself a lot of clearing up to do tomorrow, but tomorrow will be a new day. Morning. So here I am back for day 2 of possibly the worst roof I've ever cleaned, or the mossiest roof I've ever cleaned. Really pleased with what I was able to accomplish yesterday. Just cleaning pretty much non-stop, but it looks fantastic. All I've got left to do is these 2 little bits here lower down on the edges. So it's just a couple of little places here where tiles dropped out, and they're fairly easy to access and reach, so I'm able to reach them and actually replace those ones. The customer's got a couple of spare tiles, so I was able to do that. There are some I think there's one or two higher up on the other side which I can't get to. I haven't got the roof ladder to get up over onto the roof. I don't usually like to do it because then you go up onto the roof, you risk breaking more tiles. So I prefer to recommend a roofer to do those kind of things usually. But in this case, there's a couple I can easily access, so I was able to do those. But all that moss that came from the roof up there is all piled down now on this glass canopy roof here. So I think the first thing I'm going to do this morning is sweep all of that moss off of that roof. Now it's had a chance to dry out a little bit overnight. I don't want to make it wet again, making it harder to move again. So I'm going to get all that swept up, and what I'm going to do is lay the tarpaulin out, sweep it all straight onto the tarpaulin, and then I can drag the tarpaulin into the compost area or in the bushes, something like that. Yeah, but it's looking good. Look at that. It's all just come off that half of there. Riley, where are you when I need you? I was gonna drag it to, there's like some nettles in the corner over there. See if I can drag it over. I did it. I don't know what's better, lots of little trips or one big trip. But there we go, it's done now. Well, that's half of it anyway off that roof. Still got the other half to go. So I feel like I've spent I have spent all morning just moving moss around basically. I've cleared out all the gutters. The gutters were pretty clogged up, and I knew it would be tough going the gutters because they're already fairly full with leaves and twigs and sticks and acorns, and I've come along and dumped a load of moss on top of that which was already there. So so anyway, I've cleared out all those gutters all the way round apart from this section here at the back. The glass roof here is actually pretty sturdy, so I'm just going to walk around and clear out the gutters, I think, by hand with a bucket, rather than struggle with the vac. Be a little bit easier, to be honest. And then I've just got to rinse that section down, do those two little bits which I haven't finished off, and then we'll be applying the chemicals. So busy afternoon, don't want time to run away with me, but yeah, should be good. So there we go, I did it, I got to the end. Cleaned up all this here at the back, washed it all down, washed down all this patio area as well, so everything's nice and clean and tidy. I think it's made a fantastic difference to the property. I mean, I almost forget how much moss there actually was up there, but it looks so red now. Completely transformed the property, I think. And even from, like, when you look closely, there still seems to be some debris of moss sort of floating around on the roof there. I think when I've cleaned one side, I've obviously rinsed it down, but when I've come to clean the other side, some debris has obviously come over the top, which is still left there. But I mean, it's all been killed off with the chemical treatment. That'll blow away in time, and the roof will continue to improve as time goes on. So it'll just be a case of looking after it now, be the important thing, with regular treatments. There are some like fragments of moss still clinging on. There was things growing on this side in particular. You can still see kind of like some roots sticking out from under the tiles. So it's all been treated with the biocide chemicals, so anything left growing that's living on the roof will now be killed off. So it'll even improve over time. It'll help prevent that growth coming back so quickly. Probably sits quite damp here with all the trees around. It was a bit hard going cleaning out the gutters and cleaning everything down with sticks and things growing out of the gutters and all sorts. So yeah, when trouble is with a property like this, there's no other houses around, so you look at it and think, oh, it's not too big, but I think actually it's sort of bigger than I first realized. But anyway, it's been a good job, got it all done, and just got a last bit of packing away to do. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the transformation. Check out the links in the description to my podcast, the training courses, all of that kind of stuff, and please like the video, and why not subscribe. I hope to see you guys again soon. Maybe I'll see you on the next one. Take care, all the best, and bye for now.